Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to discuss something super interesting about two BTS members who are known as the group's dance line. So guys, you must have often seen how amazing JHope and Jimin are when they perform together, right? It turns out they have signature moves that are considered extremely difficult for other dancers to replicate. Many professional dancers from various countries have tried to replicate these moves, but the results are always different. Why is that? Stay tuned because we're going to thoroughly break down the secrets behind their phenomenal signature moves. Okay guys, before we deep dive into their signature moves, we need to understand first what makes JHope and Jimin special as a dance duo. They both have completely different dance backgrounds. JHope started as a street dancer with a foundation in hip-hop, popping, and locking. Meanwhile, Jimin trained in contemporary dance with a strong foundation in ballet and modern dance. This combination of two different styles creates a unique chemistry that can't be easily replicated. It's like mixing two different colors and creating something new and beautiful. The first move that's considered super difficult to replicate is what fans call mirror synchronization. This is a sequence where JHope and Jimin move with perfectly mirrored movements, but with a mind-blowing twist. JHope doing sharp, powerful movements while Jimin doing fluid, graceful ones, but the timing is exactly the same down to the smallest detail. What makes this move super challenging is the level of spatial awareness required. Professional dancers who have tried say it's like your brain needs to process two completely different pieces of information simultaneously. Choreographers from various countries have tried teaching similar moves to their dance crews, but even with dancers who have been partners for years, they couldn't achieve the same level of precision. The problem isn't just technical skill, but the innate understanding between partners. The second legendary move is energy wave transfer. This isn't an ordinary wave, guys. The concept is a wave motion that starts from one person with a certain energy, travels through contact points, transforms and ends with a completely different energy quality. So, for example, JHope starts with an explosive pop. The motion travels through their connected hands, transforms in Jimin's body, and ends with a soft, elegant finish. The transition from sharp to smooth is seamless. The key is in the energy transfer and incredible muscle control. Dance experts say this is similar to martial arts concepts where you channel and transform energy. This requires timing precision, muscle control, and most importantly, complete trust between partners. Dancers who have tried to replicate this say it feels like trying to control water with your hands. You can guide it, but you can't force it. What's even more fascinating is that this energy transfer isn't just a visual trick. It's rooted in real biomechanical principles. When JHope initiates a movement, he's creating kinetic energy that Jimin must receive, absorb, and redirect. This requires both dancers to have exceptional proprioception, which is the body's ability to sense its position and movement in space. Most dancers spend years developing this sense individually, but JHope and Jimin have developed a shared proprioceptive awareness. They can feel each other's energy shifts before they become visible to the audience. The third move is the most talked about, the gravity-defying sync. This is a combination of jumps, spins, and suspensions executed simultaneously with perfect timing. What makes it incredible is not just that they jump at the exact same time, but even their hang time in the air is identical. Professional dancers explain that hang time is determined by many factors: height, weight, leg power, jump technique. For two people with different body types to achieve identical hang time requires exceptional calibration. Video analysis shows that they somehow manage to sync their movements so precisely that they create the illusion of defying physics together. Athletes and sports scientists are actually interested in this phenomenon to study the biomechanics behind this level of synchronization. What's particularly remarkable about this synchronization is how they maintain it even during the most demanding performances. When fatigue sets in during long concerts or intense choreography, most dancers start to show slight variations in their movements. However, JHope and Jimin seem to have developed a compensatory mechanism where they instinctively adjust for each other's energy levels. If one is slightly more tired, the other subtly modifies their power output to maintain visual harmony. This isn't something that can be taught through technique alone. It's an empathetic response that comes from deep familiarity with your partner's physical and mental state. The fourth move is invisible connection. This is a series of movements where JHope and Jimin move across space separately but maintain a connection that makes it look like there's an invisible string connecting them. They might be on opposite sides of the stage, doing completely different movements, but somehow everything feels connected and harmonious. What makes this tricky is that maintaining this connection requires constant peripheral awareness. You need to sense your partner's movement and predict their next position, all while executing your own moves with full commitment. Dance psychologists find this fascinating because it demonstrates an advanced level of nonverbal communication. JHope and Jimin developed the ability to connect beyond obvious visual cues. They're reading micro-movements, energy shifts, even breathing patterns. The fifth iconic move is momentum exchange. This is a technique where one person's ending movement becomes the starting point for the other person's movement, creating a perpetual motion effect. Think of it like a perfectly timed relay, but instead of a baton, they're passing kinetic energy seamlessly. The difficulty is that the timing window is incredibly small. Too early and there's an awkward gap, too late and momentum is lost. You need to match timing, direction, speed, and quality of movement. Professional duos struggle with this because it requires letting go of individual control. You need to be reactive and adaptive, constantly adjusting based on what your partner does. The sixth move is dynamic balance. This involves a series of poses and movements where they're physically supporting each other in ways that seem geometrically challenging. One person might be leaning at an angle that would normally cause a fall, but the other is positioned exactly right with the exact counterweight to create a stable system. Trust is absolutely paramount here. Physical trust for safety, artistic trust for full commitment. Years of partnership eliminated natural hesitation. Other dancers attempting this often play it safe or tense up, which actually makes balancing harder. JHope and Jimin's version looks relaxed and natural because they're completely confident in each other. What makes all these signature moves truly special to replicate isn't just the technical difficulty alone. Individual components might be learned, but the essence, the connection that makes these moves special, that comes from their specific partnership. It's their shared history and years of practice together, mutual respect and genuine friendship, complementary styles that are perfectly balanced, deep trust developed over time, and unique chemistry that simply can't be manufactured. Dance is ultimately a form of expression and communication. What JHope and Jimin demonstrate is that the highest level of dance isn't just about executing difficult moves, it's about creating meaningful connection through movement. Their signature moves are special because they're not just physical sequences, they're a manifestation of their unique partnership. Another aspect that makes their partnership extraordinary is their ability to adapt to each other's strengths and weaknesses in real time. In live performances, where conditions are never perfect, they've shown remarkable ability to adjust their movements instantly. If one of them is slightly off balance or mistimes a jump by milliseconds, the other automatically compensates without the audience ever noticing. This level of partnership goes beyond choreography. It's an intuitive understanding that can only come from thousands of hours spent moving together. Moreover, their emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in their performance quality. Dance isn't just about physical execution, it's about conveying emotion and telling a story. JHope and Jimin have an uncanny ability to match not just their movements, but also their emotional energy. When one projects joy, the other mirrors that emotion authentically. When the performance calls for intensity or vulnerability, they transition together seamlessly. This emotional synchronization is perhaps even more difficult to replicate than the physical moves themselves because it requires genuine connection and mutual understanding that goes beyond the studio. The impact of their partnership extends beyond the dance community. Dance studios use their performances as examples of partnership goals. Business seminars use their videos to illustrate perfect collaboration. Sports teams study their synchronization techniques. They've inspired discussions about teamwork and trust in various fields. Many choreographers now encourage students to develop their own signature moves with their partners, based on their unique dynamics. The lesson isn't about copying greatness, it's about finding your own version through genuine connection. Some dance instructors have even developed entire curriculum modules based on the principles demonstrated in JHope and Jimin's partnership, focusing on building trust, developing nonverbal communication, and creating chemistry between dance partners. So guys, the secret behind JHope and Jimin's impossible-to-copy signature moves is a combination of exceptional individual skills, complementary styles, years of dedicated practice together, deep trust, and genuine friendship, and that indefinable chemistry that makes their partnership special. If you're passionate about dance, the takeaway from this is to focus on developing genuine partnerships rather than just learning moves. Find someone who complements your style, invest time in building trust, and create your own signature moves based on your unique dynamic. That's all for this video. If you have thoughts about JHope and Jimin's dance partnership or your experience in dance collaboration, share in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next interesting videos. See you in the next video. Stay creative, everyone.